In today's show, we check out a secret restoration project.
Her name's Sally's, for the amount of Sally's no gaps that's been required. So yeah, Sally, she's gorgeous.
Inside the new game day atmosphere, and a former Crow returns home to West Lakes. Hello everyone and welcome to the Optus Crows Show. I'm ALANA Smith. Well, when the AFL announced the restart of the 2020 season, clubs were informed they would have to follow strict return to play protocols. This means that players have been restricted in participating in activities away from the football field. But determined to make the most out of the situation, young Crows forward Lachlan Murphy decided he'd use the downtime to restore an old caravan in his backyard. We visited Murphy to see if he's as handy with the tools as he is with the footy.
Thought I'd buy an old caravan that was a bit run down and sort of have the challenge of sort of doing it back up in my spare time, and sort of like to come out and do a couple of hours every now and then. It's only a little caravan, a 14-footer. I'm a little man, so it's suitable for me. With footy, and obviously that's number one, and this is just on the day off we'll do a few hours here and there, but something a bit fun, a bit enjoyable, takes my mind off things. It's quite therapeutic. We've redone the walls, redid the floors here, that double bed there, so it's elevated, so the plan is that that'll lift up with our storage, will go underneath there. This is the kitchen, got that door on with shelves, there'll be drawers in here, the fridge will go here, with a sink in here. In here will be another like single bed sort of couch seating area, again with the same idea with the extra storage space underneath.
Gonna put one drawer.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't realise how big it was.
Sort of just have Kieran as the apprentice, comes in and sweeps the sawdust for me, which is good. I sort of do most of the stuff.
I don't know where he gets to half the time. He often leaves me out there doing all the work, and the next thing he just reappears, often with food in hand. Look at it. Oh, Jesus.
Talking to these blokes. I sort of take the piss out of Kieran a little bit, but he's helped me out as well. He loves this sort of stuff. Both of us don't have any qualifications or anything, but we're sort of just chipping away at it. I like to think that I'm the project manager and boss him around, but well, he sort of does everything.
But I feel like I won't put it together until we get those runners.
Her name's Sally's, for the amount of Sally's no gaps that's been required. So yeah, Sally, she's gorgeous.
Well, for new recruits, joining an interstate club is an exciting yet daunting time. But last year, Josh Worrell was lucky enough to get drafted alongside a teammate. The versatile defender has been playing with fellow first-year player Fisher Mackesy since under-12s. And while he's yet to get his first taste of AFL footy, the 19-year-old is thoroughly enjoying the opportunity to compete against experienced players in the Crows scratch matches.
It's been an interesting year, obviously, with COVID, but yeah, no, it's been enjoyable. Like, been seeing all the boys and meeting them, making really good connections with all of them. It's definitely been tough not being able to play any sample games. We've been lucky enough to get a few games in here and there, but I think the training standard for the boys that aren't playing has been at like a ridiculously good level, and like we train as hard as we can. So I think it's put a good mindset that like it would prepare us properly for AFL level. I think I've learned a lot of lessons from the likes of Daniel Talia, Joe Kelly, just playing strong one-on-one defence as well as that ability to roll off and impact other contests. But no, I'm really enjoying it, feeling a lot more comfortable down there with the bigger bodies. I think probably Jake Kelly's looked out for me a bit, Carl Hardigan and Daniel Talia have especially been back when they've kind of put their head down for me and looked out for me a fair bit. I think the biggest lesson is just like things don't come to you easy. You've got to put your head down, work hard for them, and like hopefully the opportunity comes about. Like you don't just get gifted things. So I think that's the biggest thing I've taken. It just kind of doesn't happen for you. You've got to really put your head down and work for it. Definitely be nice to get on a wing or up forward, but I think like whatever's best suited to the team works. I mean, like If it needs me to play forward, I'll play forward. If I need to play back, I play back, sort of thing. It's whatever works for the team.
There's plenty more to come on the show. Up next, we'll find out how Adelaide Oval is protecting crowds at the footy.
We can do so much from a stadium point of view, but the success of this year has been based on us working closely with the fans and making sure fans take responsibility themselves.
Welcome back to the Optus Crows Show. I'm Mark Bickley. The matchday atmosphere has significantly changed this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. Crowd numbers are now capped in each state with special distancing measures enforced at each ground. We took a look inside Adelaide Oval to find out what it takes to keep fans safe.
The atmosphere this year with reduced crowds has been quite electric at times.
In he comes, siren sounds, and the crowd breaks.
But, you know, there are obvious differences around the place. Measures to reduce crowd density, spread people out in checkerboard fashion, seating arrangements, queuing measures are put in place to separate people, but also to people before they get here. Preparing people to come to Adelaide Oval differently is really, really important. So the communication's there from the moment that they download their ticket, they sign off to say that they accept the conditions of coming to Adelaide Oval. We can do so much from a stadium point of view, but the success of this year has been based on us working closely with the fans and making sure fans take responsibility themselves.
Slide to Keys, and they get the opener.
The few games that I've been to, the atmosphere hasn't been too removed from normal, but you know, you can obviously see and hear that it's not quite as atmospheric as other years have been.
Everyone's been social distancing, and felt pretty safe going to the games.
People are very respectful even when you go to the kiosk and things like that, so I think everybody's doing the right thing, so it's still good to see it settling out each time.
The staff here do a fantastic job, so I have no hesitation about coming.
Staffing's been really, really important. Wherever possible, our staff have actually undertaken COVID training themselves to just make themselves aware of what's required in an environment like this.
Oh yes, he stepped through them, he parted the seas.
The ground staff really struggled early. They love producing the best ovals in the world to allow the best athletes to perform out here. And without that end goal, with no activity, it was a real challenge for them. But they've really embraced the opportunity to bring content back to the Oval. We just love seeing fans back here. We love seeing events back here and AFL footy. The surface held up very, very well, and we're very biased, but rightly so, that this is the best playing surface in Australia and certainly one of the best playing surfaces in the world. And that's endorsed by the players who love playing out here as well.
The only place you can find all the official Crows news is at afc.com.au. Stay connected with the club via their social media accounts on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And if you're hungry for more footy stories, make sure you're following at The Crows Show on Twitter. Former Crow Andrew Eccles only played 54 games during his AFL career, but one of those just happened to be on that special day in September. At 19 years of age, Eccles played in Adelaide's 1998 Grand Final match against North Melbourne. Thanks to Bendigo Bank, we had a chat to Andrew about the day he walked onto the MCG and became a premiership player.
Well, I was drafted from Melbourne in the end of 1996, so first year over here was 97. Drafted as a 17-year-old, so I was quite young at the time, very young at the time. So came over here. I was over here for 5 years, and lucky enough in my second year in '98 to play in a premiership.
Number 33, Andrew Eccles.
This is a dream come true. When I was a young kid growing up, this is all you want to do, is play in a grand final, and at 19 it's happened, and I'm just wrapped. I
suppose I was given the opportunity from Blighty, and then obviously played the prelim and grand final, but a bit of a blur, the grand final, to be honest. I can't remember too much about it, but I can remember the siren. I remember, all sort of hugging. I remember Blighty sort of trying to take a mark over my back, which there is a picture of. I remember the dinner that night and the celebrations, and then the next day at the showgrounds, I think it was, and all the fans, and I guess for the next week or so, all the festivities. Obviously, I live in Melbourne now. Most of the guys live here in Adelaide. So yeah, it's just nice to catch up with everyone and see where they're at and what they're doing. And it's like once you start talking to everyone, it's like you've never left.
Coming up, we get an AFLW list update. She's a premiership player with us. She plays forward, she kicks goals, but more importantly, she's just great to have around the group.
The Crows AFLW side recruited 3 new players during this year's sign and trade period, and one of these happens to be a familiar face. 2017 Premiership midfielder Jess Sedunary returns to Westlakes after spending a year with expansion side St Kilda. We had a chat to Sedge to find out how it feels to be back on home soil.
Here's a chance for Jess Sedunary against her former team, and what does that mean?
It was a really good experience, and doing their first year at St Kilda, being a part of that was awesome, and helping them build the club. I think I learnt a lot and got to give a bit of knowledge as well from what I'd learnt in our first year at Crows. So yeah, it was for me it was a really positive experience, and one that I'm a little bit sad to let go of now, but excited.
25 out, stabs at it and kicks a goal.
Moving into state made me realise how some of my teammates have actually become like family to me. They know me so well. That was one thing that really stood out to me, and how much they kept in contact with me was really awesome. She's a premiership player with us. She plays forward, she kicks goals, but more importantly, she's just great to have around the group. So we're looking forward as much as seeing her on the field, where she'll really add to our side, but off the field she'll certainly really add to the vibe around the group, which will be great. Snapped my fibula playing a Sandford game when I got back from Melbourne, and I'm week 6 at the moment, so I'm moon boot free this week, and my rehab's ticking along really well, so we're hoping to be running by week 8, and I've been doing some Ultra-G anti-gravity treadmill stuff, so ticking along really well. I feel like I'm a veteran when it comes to injury rehab at the moment, so this one seems pretty straightforward, so I should be back sooner than ever.
I think there's anxiety about COVID throughout the whole footy industry at the moment, so it would be a lie to say that the girls aren't worried about it, but the AFL have got on the front foot. They've backed the competition in, they've put them the support behind the competition, and the plan is to start training on the 4th of November and start playing on the 1st of February. Being able to be home and just be able to be around family with the uncertainty of the future is really settling for me, and I love Adelaide weather, and I love my job that I have here, so yeah, I'm really stoked for the next 12 months.
Well, the 3 AFLW recruits won't be the only new team members next season, with the club set to add more draftees to their list later in the year. Well, with the men's side preparing to take on the Giants this Tuesday night, let's fly around social media to see what the players have been sharing with their followers, with thanks to Flight Centre. Over the past 12 years, the Crows' major partner Toyota has raised over $10 million to support grassroots sporting organisations across the nation. To celebrate, we've been visiting local clubs in South Australia to see how they've benefited from Toyota's Good for Footy raffle. This week, we're catching up with some of the players from the Smosh West Lakes Football Club to find out how the initiative has helped them.
My name is Remy Grant and I'm a player in the women's A grade. So the football club is really important to me. I've grown up with most of the boys that have played here, and then when they started a women's side, I jumped at the opportunity. As for the community, it's a central place for everyone in the western suburbs. Most of the people that play here have either gone to school together or they've grown up together.
Hi, I'm Nikki Noble. I'm the secretary of the Smosh Women's Football Club and I'm also a player for the B grade. The women's program has started off at junior level. We've been running that for about 8 years. We started off with an A grade and a B grade, and this year we also included an under 18s.
I'm Ashley Baker and I'm the under 18s captain. The club's such an enjoyable place to come to, so I really enjoy my footy, and the atmosphere and the support that we have here at the club is just really amazing.
Last year we relied on the men a lot. We had to borrow trainers and first aid equipment. Our fundraising coordinator brought the Toyota Good for Footy raffle idea to us, and we jumped on the opportunity, especially in a year where it's pretty hard to raise funds with COVID and everything going on. We thought it was a great initiative to jump on board with.
I think it's really important because it unites us from junior level right up to seniors. We wear the same colours of the maroon, gold and blue, and it unites us and makes us feel like a family.
Thank you, Toyota Good for Footy raffle!
Don't go anywhere, because after the break we chat to Crows coach Matthew Nicks.
The Crows face Hawthorn during the week in another night of Tuesday footy. Thanks to Optus, let's take a look at what the fans shared on social media during the match.
There are calls for Eddie's Pocket to be renamed after this effort by Schomburg. While Murphy's match-sealing goal had the crowd up and about.
He's kicked it. He's kicked it.
Fans watching the win from home took to Twitter to share their delight, with some sharing virtual celebrations with the players. And there was plenty of praise for Ben Keys, who ran to the other side of the ground to thank the Crows faithful for their unwavering support.
Every week on the show, we ask senior coach Matthew Nicks a question thanks to Thomas Farms. This week, we want to know if the club has started recruiting senior football staff for next season.
Look, from a soft cap point of view, there's some real challenges coming for all clubs. In fact, the whole industry. So we're pre-planning. We've been on that now for 6 months, having a look at exactly where the industry goes, making sure that we're putting ourselves in the best position to get the best people on board. Not only that, we're looking to really develop our people from within. So we've put in place a number of different ways that we can do that, and we've got some fantastic people that work at the footy club, and it's all about now getting better.
That's all from us today. Thanks for your company. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest Crows news at afc.com.au and by following the club on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you tune in to Channel 7 on Tuesday night to watch the Crows battle the Giants at Adelaide Oval. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and we'll see you again next Sunday. Bye for now.